Hey everyone, thank you so much for tuning in to The Couch. I am so thrilled to have James Lamar here.
I love being here with you, smiling and laughing while enjoying life. But there's more than the ocean blue, 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 don't let me drown.
He is an artist, singer, sound healer, and a nutritionist. I'm really happy you're on the show today, The Couch.
Thank you for having me.
What has been your experience with forgiveness?
Forgiving myself has been more of a challenge, but forgiving others was kind of an easy process once I understood that it comes down to understanding. So it's like seeing where that person was in life, what inspired the actions that caused them to hurt you.
I had to forgive my mother, who was limited. She was mentally handicapped and she couldn't take care of me in the capacity that I thought a mother should. So I would get angry at myself, and then I'd get angry at her, and then I realized that understanding was the key. Understanding what her limitation is, where she's at, what she's thinking. Having that greater love, that greater empathy for her helped me to find peace. What was a thing or some things in your life that now that you look back on, you have had to learn to forgive?
My mom, she was addicted to drugs for a very long time. Because of that, it caused her to be in and out of my life a lot. And it's like when she would be in my life, my mom was my world. I loved my mom. And then she would always say, okay, I promise, boo, I'm not leaving this time, I promise. And I would be like, okay, mom, I love you. Like I just adored and worshipped my mom. Like to me, she was the prettiest woman on the planet. Couldn't tell me different, nothing. Like
She was everything.
She was everything, right? So then her leaving was just always really, really difficult.
What does forgiveness for her look like to you?
It was never like I felt like I had to forgive her, because as soon as she would come back, like, let me cherish this moment because I don't know when you're gonna leave again.
And then even looking back, you didn't see anything that was different in her eyes or something different with her, that the drugs were getting worse?
I mean, I would see moments, like there was a moment one night where she was just really out of it and loopy, and I remember laughing because to me it was funny. I thought it was funny, like my mom was saying funny things, but now it's like, oh no, she was high.
You understand?
I understand. My grandma gave her a pain pill when she was 14 years old because she was in pain. My grandma was innocent, my mom was innocent, and boom, that one encounter, she's addicted to drugs. Okay, I get it. I get it. There was trauma, emotional trauma, due to, her being in and out of my life, with a lot of abandonment issues that I'm working on still to this day. And when those things do come up, I do have to kind of forgive her again.
He is going to be singing for us his song Forgiveness. Take it away.
I cried out, but you couldn't hear me, 'cause you were gone, nowhere to be found. So these tears fell endlessly. But that was then, and this is now. We finally had the chance to turn it all around. I understand the pain that dragged you down. While I can, let me say this now. 1, 2, I forgiven you. So it's time to forgive yourself. You're only human, and there's no room in your heart to hate or blame yourself. So you gotta, yeah, you gotta accept the cards that you dealt. Yeah, you gotta. Yeah, you gotta forgive yourself despite the pain you know I felt. I'm stronger and wiser. You made me a fighter for love and understanding. My light shines even brighter now that you're in my world. There's no more sad and lonely girl. The time is now to turn it all around.
Don't you think it takes courage to have that kind of perspective? To have that kind of grace for someone else? To be like, I understand.
I do, but I just feel like everything is so relative.
How do you have that? How do you have such grace for people, for her? Because I think that a lot of us struggle with, oh, they did this to me. How could they do that to me? You hurt me. You affected my life. It's my trauma. It's my woe, my worry. I have to deal with this. But you're just so loving that you would say it's okay. You would say, I understand. Where does that love come from for you?
I don't know.
I don't know. Well, I know for me, it's God,
Yeah.
the universe, whatever you want to call it. It's the source of all things, all that is. It's the love, the light, the reason we're here. It's the universal thing that we're connected to, that we're all connected to. Everlasting life. And it's just that kind of grace, the fact that I get to live. I want to encourage other people to live too, and I want them to live a full life, no matter what they do to me, because just because they hurt me doesn't mean they should have less of a life than I get to live.
Yeah.
And we're all in this together, and we've all done bad things. And I think the enemy, the darkness that's out there, tells us these lies that what we do can never be forgiven. That the shame keeps us in the darkness. That we feel that we can escape it. What have been some of the lies that people have told you, that yourself tells you, that you've had to overcome? Was it that I'm not good enough, I'm not whatever?
Yeah.
And then you can fill in the blank. What were the things that you had to overcome?
Definitely not feeling good enough.
And what does that mean? What does that look like to you? The not feeling good enough? That you have a place in this world? That you're not worthy?
Not feeling good enough. Like more specifically in the career aspect, you know, like when I was trying to be a pop star and be famous and everything, and just not feeling like my voice was good enough, not feeling like what I had to offer was good enough for the industry. And then relationships, like not feeling attractive enough, not feeling tall enough, not feeling, you know, like my lips are too small, like just little things. So definitely am still overcoming some of that. You have to be compassionate with yourself. It's like, why are you angry with yourself? And what is the root of that anger? Do you have high expectations for yourself? Do you...
Yeah.
It's like all these questions that you have to ask of why you even need to forgive yourself in the first place.
So who taught you that kind of love? Was it your mother? Was it your grandparents that taught you compassion?
It was definitely my grandparents. I mean, they were by no means perfect as well, you know.
Yeah, we're all trying.
But they loved me the best they could, you know, and it was a lot of love. I remember
It was a lot of love. It was enough.
It was enough. And that's why I just like still wonder, like, I'm like, why do I still have this craving for love so much then?
If you were surrounded by it.
Right, if I was surrounded by it. Like, it's a question I've had since high school. I still have that question.
For me, I look for things that will give me that love constantly instead of having that full self-love. I mean, I do love myself and I am loved by people and I understand that, but it's just, there's something beyond, above me, and I do have that love as well. The love of my Creator, and that's what I need, but it's also a physical love that I require, that I want.
Yeah.
And it's forgiving myself, because I feel that so many things are connected. So with the physical love, because I was raped as a child, that part of that love was taken from me in a way. The physical freedom that I have, that touch, trying to replace that, replenish it, and pour into it, but it's hard when I'm not aligned with the person spiritually and we're not connecting and it's just lust instead of love, because that was my problem.
Yeah.
That was my problem.
That's
Lust.
I am just about growth and wanting to grow, and ever since I've learned about, everything that's going on in the world, I've wanted to achieve this state of ascension, this state of enlightenment, this state of where I've healed so much that I'm just present all the time, 100% of the time. I'm trying to be gentle and compassionate with myself, forgiving myself, because I'm not always nice, especially at my job these days. Like, just will feel so overwhelmed with work that I'll let it get the best of me and will not treat the guests as kind as I normally would,
But I think the fact that you have this perspective is amazing too, because you're looking outside of yourself. And I just had this thing most recently where someone was telling me a lie about who I was. And I wasn't upset about the lie because I knew my truth and I could call out the lie. So when the enemy, when the darkness tells you lies about yourself or what you deserve or don't deserve, are you able to recognize it and to cast it out? Or do you succumb to it and feel that darkness overwhelm you?
It's a little bit of both.
Yeah, I feel that too.
Yeah, sometimes I'll just entertain the darkness, entertain that thought.
Entertain the darkness. I do that as well. And sometimes it's a really good period where I'm doing so well and I feel that I am living the best life I can for myself, and then there's an opportunity to slip up and I take it.
Yeah.
I fall back because it almost feels too good to be at the top. That I have to self-sabotage because I still don't feel like I deserve that good of a life. What is your life purpose?
Being here right now.
You're all about the present. That's the answer
No,
to every question.
Like, trust me, like I have a whole song called Purpose where I was just figuring out, like, what am I here to do? Like, obviously...
Do you know your calling? Do you know what your purpose is? Quite literally, do you know what you are here to do? I mean, it could be evolving, it could change, it could be so clear to some people, and then for other people it's something that it's always been there and then becomes clearer as they get older.
Yeah.
Get closer to it even.
Yeah.
Do you know what that is for you?
It's just such a loaded question because it's like...
Everything you can do.
Everything,
Okay.
just everything we do in life. Because if we're going in this direction based on what's externally being provided to us. So if you're passionate about one thing, and you go and you do it, and you're doing it, and then you lose your passion for that, and then you're like, okay, well, what else? Okay, now this is being presented to me, let me try this. So what about these people that have lived their lives and didn't stick to one thing? They dabbled in that, they dabbled in that, they dabbled in that. That was their life purpose. The life purpose might not have been to just be on one track and just do one thing for the rest of their life. Maybe their soul just wanted to come to planet Earth to experience it all.
You're saying I am open to whatever I can do.
I'm open, yeah.
I will be open to wherever the universe needs me. Do you feel that you're doing what you should be doing right now? That you're where you should be? That you're exactly where you should be, present to this moment?
I do.
And that your surroundings are good, that the people in your life are good, that the things that you're allowing into your life are mostly good.
I think everything is serving a purpose. For my purpose. Living day to day and every moment is a part of our purpose. Or you can look at it from the standpoint of, okay, so that when most people think of their purpose, they're thinking, okay, what am I going to do with the rest of my life? Like, what does that career path look like? And that's what a lot of people will say life purpose is. Like,
or that success is even.
Or success, right? But what I like to tell people is, if you're looking for your purpose, think about, what can I contribute? What are the skills? What are the talents? What are the gifts that I've been given?
That's
based on that, right? Or like, what do I enjoy? What's anything that I'm passionate about, or just have a little bit of fun, or happiness, excitement, whatever, that I can contribute to the collective in a positive way.
To the collective. I love that.
And just,
I really feel that, because the more you give, the more you have to give, and the more full you feel, the more you give of your talents, your time.
Because we have them for a reason.
Yeah, like, it's a gift for others.
Right.
But we have that gift in giving that gift.
And right, exactly. And I take a look back at cultures in the past, right? And when we were living in tribes, every member of the tribe contributed something to the greater tribe.
Yeah.
So if we do that on a collective human race level, where we've all been given at this particular time, every single soul that's on the planet that is here and is continuing to be alive, we're here for some kind of purpose. Whatever that is. So it's like, whatever these gifts are that we're able to contribute.
Use your gifts.
Yeah, that's why some people are called to be doctors, are called to do this. And it's like, sometimes I'll feel like, oh, well, I feel like I'm not doing enough. Like, I feel like if I were a doctor, if I were a surgeon, I would be contributing more. Well, guess what? My soul did not come on planet Earth to do that. And I have to be okay with that. I just have to. It's just like me and my ego and perfectionist ways wanting to just be the best I can be, and me thinking me being a doctor is the best. No. It's like, what I'm doing is where I need to be. And I get confirmation when I am doing it based on what people tell me after. Like when I'm doing the sound bowls, and afterwards when they tell me like how they feel. It's an amazing feeling.
Yeah,
like,
it is.
Whoa, like this really had an impact on you.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, so if this had an impact on you, I'm clearly where I need to be.
It can be from a nice note that someone writes to you. That happened to me. Someone wrote me a nice note. And it's not because of who I am. It's because of who I chose to be. It's because of what I allowed inside my soul and spirit that helped someone else in a way. And now I just want to give it out again. That you're literally just being a channel for people to have change in their life. And in that, like you said, you're adding to the greater collective, the whole. Because when you give to other people, you're really just fulfilling something inside yourself. There was a whole floor and these guys were living in cubicles. Some homeless people, they were coming through and getting food, and I was serving the food. And there was a temp service that was cooking most of it, so there was a chef, and then I was doing dishes and serving. People were coming across the line and they were so thankful. Each person had so much character, but what I saw in every person's eyes was myself. That I was just giving back to myself. It was in someone else that I was served to. So isn't that the best thing that we can do, is serve other people with what we believe we can give to them, whatever our gifts are, and realize that they're unlimited in scope. We have everything that we need to fulfill our purpose. We have these gifts and tools accessible to us. When we start living like we are all one, that's when we really make progress. And I know it sounds cliche to be like, we're all in this together, but we're all together. We're all that one. We're all that unit. Just trying to find our way back to each other.
It's like this whole video game.
Yeah.
It's like we're giving
someone else said it was like a video game, and it made me think about consciousness. So I guess this could be the very last question. What do you think is next after life?
Afterlife.
Afterlife. If it is afterlife, or what do you think? What do you think is next? Once you die, do you? Yeah. And even now, do you feel that people who have passed before you are with you in spirit? That you can feel their energy, their soul guiding you? If you've had anyone pass in your life, or ancestors of yours, do you feel something working for you?
I do.
People.
And it's definitely
spirits.
brought up a lot in the spiritual community.
Mm-hmm.
Like every time before we do a sound bath, we call upon that spiritual realm, all the angels, ancestors.
I feel like some demons come for me. I always joke about it, so I know it's true. Like, they're there. Well, that darkness is there.
It's definitely there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great.
Yeah. But you are just so much light. You're all light. I don't see any darkness in you, but I guess I'm
saw the
doing
darkness.
Well, that day I did. That day I did. I guess I'm doing you a disservice if I say there's no darkness, because you know it's there.
Yeah.
But and do you feel a need that you have to prove that it's there for people? Because you're like, listen, I'm not a guru.
I do, and that's the thing.
That's so wild, because
I've had that for a while.
Because so people look at you and they think you can cure me. You're the one. You're James. You're the healer. And you're like, no, I'm just trying to heal you, but I can't heal.
I'm using these tools for you to
Tools.
do your
You're
own
using your
healing.
tools. Okay.
Right. So
Your own healing.
Exactly.
Your own
So
healing.
like these sounds are meant to create that equilibrium within ourselves, so we can do that healing.
Mm-hmm.
So if you think about it, it's like when we have to heal physically, what did they tell you to do? Rest. Make sure you're getting a lot of rest, right?
Rest, yeah.
Same thing goes for emotional trauma. How can you heal your emotional trauma if you're not still? If you don't have time to rest? It's the same thing. So it's like when I do these sound baths, it's an opportunity for people to be still for an hour and a half, and they can finally just be with their minds in a conscious way. I forgive myself. Sometimes our minds will run when we're trying to go to sleep, but our conscious intention is, I want to go to sleep, but I can't, and all these thoughts are coming through my mind. not very often do we take that time to set an hour, hour and a half to just be still and allow whatever comes to surface to come to surface.
Yeah.
So it's like wanting people to be in that space allows them to heal by dealing with those unfortunate, uncomfortable experiences that come up. But if it's uncomfortable, that means that there's something there still that needs to be healed. So you gotta feel through that uncomfortability, so that way you can heal it.
Feel through it.
Feel through it, exactly. So many people are escaping the uncomfortable emotions.
Yeah.
With drugs and whatever it is.
I do it.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I do as well.
Absolutely.
I definitely do as well. But then
it's so much harder though to do that. I mean, it'd be easier to feel those things and go through them as opposed to doing other things to try to fix them or run away, because it gets worse if you don't resolve those thoughts and feelings.
I feel like I'm in a more balanced place now, where it's like I'm not gonna just sacrifice my whole self. Because I never wanted to be ego-driven. And for a while I saw that I was acting from ego. And it's like, okay. Well,
yeah. For me, it was just getting offended. It was just, I wanted something to hang on to, that wanted a reason to be angry. To be like, oh, you hurt me. And I'm going to hold it in because of ego. And that, you said I was wrong. Well, I don't want to be wrong because of ego. Just kind of seeing the moments where I have the ego, and then it's just so easy to let that go. To be like, yeah, I'm wrong all the time. I don't know if I'm right about anything. Right. And just to have humility is great. Yeah. I mean, it's so much easier to mess up and be okay with it, because even the mess up is something beautiful. And maybe it is divinely guided, like you said, and it's not even a mess up. But it was supposed to happen that way.
Exactly. And I want to make that point too, because I feel like something that I learned is like, we're saying we want to help save the world. We want to help bring more light or bring more good in the world. But who are we to judge what's right and wrong? I mean, yes, it makes sense that like, okay, killing is wrong.
Yeah, yeah.
But then there are perspectives or theories that say, well, who even says that that's wrong? If the divine is watching over everything, who's to say that killing was not used as a catalyst for something else to happen? It's like, here we are judging right and wrong for everything, but now I'm in a place where I just want to stand back and be like, who am I to say that?
That I didn't create this world, I didn't create...
Right, yeah, and just seeing everything as it is, from
as it was supposed to happen, as it should have happened.
As everything happening the
for
way
a
it's
reason.
Supposed to happen. It may be negative, dark, whatever labels we want to put on it, good versus evil, whatever. But it's just seeing that everything does have a divine purpose and things are divinely orchestrated. And just...
I do believe that people come into our lives to help us get to where we need to be, and that sometimes when we do get it wrong, when we're off course, there's always things that put us back on course. It's like a movie that was already filmed and now it's just being played back.
That's it, and that's exactly what I'm thinking, because I think a part of me even has this belief that our souls already know what's up. Like in the spiritual community, the New Age community, they talk about these soul contracts. Like before we even embody this human flesh, we have these contracts with the other souls. Like they would say that our soul had a contract. We already knew before we embodied in these bodies that we were going to connect. You were going to be the manager of where I lived. We were going to be on this show together. We were going to impact each other with what we're doing in the world. You know what I'm saying? So that everything already is set. Because I just want to see things from all sides. Like, okay, so this hurt me. This triggered something within me. So the first thought when I get triggered is, okay, what is this? Why do I feel this way? What is the root of this? What happened? What happened when I was a kid that's triggering this wound? Sometimes it'll come to me. Sometimes I'll have like, okay, so more recently, I had some abandonment issues be triggered. I had a really good time with this guy, One day it was like awesome, like we were laughing, it was playful, dancing, like it was just like, oh my gosh, it was amazing. Like it just felt like this is what partnership could be. Like this is, and then like we can make music together, all this stuff. We're making like healthy food together. This is amazing. Like it's.
He's the one.
Right. He's the one. Okay. But just like just that feeling of feeling good in a connection with someone.
Yes.
And then the next day.
Lights up.
Right. And then the next day, person just kind of left.
Ghosts.
Yeah. And it just aroused all of these feelings.
Like your mother leaving.
Yes. It was literally just like that. It's like I know I'm a lot when it comes to relationships. Like I usually move very quickly. I
move into their place.
Yes.
Right away.
And then there's, I've been looking into attachment styles, and there's the anxious attachment, there's the avoidant attachment, and then there's people that are just securely attached. Like they can be attached in a very healthy way. Or I resonate with the anxious attachment, where it's like, I need security all the time. Like, make me feel secure. Make me feel that you actually love me. Tell me that you love me all the time. Make me feel that. It's like, oh, if you ghost, you don't text me for like, 5 hours, I start freaking out. Like, oh my gosh, is he pulling away? You know what I mean? Like, these are all things that start to bubble up. I think it does come from the past. Just taking a look at that and saying, okay, I have to do the healing work here. Marianne Williamson, in her book, really helped me to look at relationships this way, where it's like, okay, you see both parties as their inner children, and we're all wounded, and we're all going to get triggered. But it's like, who do you love enough to stay with them throughout the triggers? Like, your triggers, like, obviously, two people can be very toxic for one another. In that situation, no. If you're triggering each other every single day, no, that's not a healthy relationship.
Right.
But if it's someone who compliments you, in a sense, so you're not triggering each other every day, but you might get triggered every once in a while, but you know how to deal with it, because you are coming from that place of, okay, we are both souls who have been put on this planet and conditioned a certain way, and now we met at this moment in our lives, and we got to deal with that. Just seeing it from that grander perspective and just seeing it as a true partnership. Like, I know what I'm here to do. Like, I love what I'm doing with these sound bowls and the gong, and I love what I'm doing with my music and with this healthy food, fruits and vegetables. I'm so passionate about these things, and I know that like that's helping to spread the light, right? So if I can have someone else that compliments me there, and we're both doing that together, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's
power.
Exactly. And that's how I see it now. It's just seeing it as a true divine union, a sacred light working partnership where we are both working together.
It's maybe not have to be someone that we have to start dating or someone we have to find, but that person was attracted because they already found themselves in us.
That's so beautiful. I needed to hear that, actually.
We're all connected. We're all one.
Yeah.
We're all one.
Yeah, and that's definitely a goal. Like a goal of mine is to attain that level. Because conceptually, all day I can tell you, oh yeah, don't get too attached. Like, we want to have a healthy attachment to someone. Be present with that person, because you never know how long that person's gonna, be with you on this physical 3D plane. But, it's easy to know something conceptually, but to apply it and to live it is just so different, because it's so easy to get attached, especially depending on your upbringing and your conditioning.
What keeps you going? What keeps you waking up in the morning excited to live another day? Because I understand now from suffering, that deep understanding you were talking about, I understand how hard it is some days to get out of bed.
Yeah.
How some days you just think, there's nothing out there for me, it's hopeless, it's effort to get outside. I understand that some days. Dealing with depression, battling that. Yeah. So what is it that feeds your soul?
I mean, it's really just moment by moment.
Being present?
Being present,
Living
it's just like seeing
a human experience.
Because I could tell you, like, the first thing that comes to mind is when I played the singing bowls. I went to an expo and had the opportunity to play these singing bowls made out of multiple crystals. And it's like something that I've seen like on my Instagram. I'm like, oh, this is so cool. And I finally was able to just like play with them, and like I was just stuck there, just like overjoyed in my element, right?
Yeah.
But it's like I could tell you that that's something that pushes me forward. But when I'm in my emotions, I got them singing bowls right in my apartment on the floor. But I'm so deep in my emotions, I'm not going to play those. That's not moving me forward.
Even if you do play them in your emotions, do you find that they make any difference when you are in those low points?
And that's the thing, is like I have to do better with doing that. Like actually, like when the emotions are present, going straight to it. Because I don't.
Would you say that even accepting being in a low point would be a high point because you're willing to understand the lows you have to go through to get to the highs, and that somewhere in the low there is a high, that it's maybe all high, it's all good.
Yeah.
Even the worst things that I've had to go through, I find light in every one of those things because I had an opportunity to set someone free. I had an opportunity to help someone else who was battling the same thing. Well, James, this has been such an enlightening conversation. Thank you so much for talking to me today.
Thank you for having me.
James Lamar.
Time to forgive yourself. You're only human, and there's no room in your heart to hate or blame yourself. So you gotta, yeah, you gotta forgive yourself. Accept the cards that you dealt. Yeah, you gotta